What's good, YouTube? It's Mikey. This is going to be a continued Q&A from last night's previous video. I got in some more questions that I thought were really good questions. Some questions I got that were very, very irrelevant about transitioning, so I kind of just cut those out. I'm not answering questions about my my personal life. I'm not answering questions about my transition. Just so you guys know. Okay, so just as same as yesterday, I'm going to be drinking a nice little glass of whiskey. Don't judge. This time I have ice. Sorry for the crunching. Okay. I'll try not to crunch on the ice. I have a very bad ice habit. Okay. These questions are not in any particular order, nor have I fashioned them in any particular order, so they're just going to be very, very random. I hope you guys don't mind that. Question number 1. Have you lost any family members as a result of coming out? I want to say no, but I think my grandma was really against it. But at the same time, I wasn't really close with her anyway, so I didn't really care what she thought. She was kind of always really mean to me, and her opinion just never mattered to me. So that's the only reason why I want to say no. Other than that, like, my family hasn't strayed from me, and I'm kind of proud of that situation because I know that there are people out there who have lost family members because of their coming out, and that makes me feel bad, honestly. Like, I feel like your family should be able to support you no matter what decisions you make in your life, so that's just how I feel about it. Question number 2, what would you have liked your immediate family to have done differently? Honestly, for some of my immediate family, I would have liked them to be more supportive of my situation. And it was really hard to get to that point. Not with, like, my siblings. My siblings were fine with it. But, like, my parent, my mom, my grandpa still has a very, very hard time with it. And I understand that. He's old and, stuck in his ways. And I'm okay with that. Question number 3. What's the one thing your mom said or you wished she would have said? That when I first came out, she said some things that I just wasn't okay with. And I wished it would have been like, hey, it's fine, it's okay. Like, just hearing that everything would be okay would have meant the world to me, but it just wasn't that way, and you get what you get, and that's just what you gotta live with, and I'm fine with that, too. Question number 4. Did you have a lot of support when you first came out, and how is it compared to now? I think the only person that didn't really support me when I first came out was my mom. I had a lot of support from my friends. I had a lot of support from my siblings. I even had a lot of support from some coworkers, and, it was... I couldn't complain. There's nothing for me to complain about. Compared to now, my mom actually supports me now. She's there for me a lot. If I ever need to talk about something, like, she might be a little uncomfortable with it, but she's always willing to hear me out and listen to my problems, and, especially when it comes to my transition. So, it's better now than it was before, that's for sure. Okay. Question number 5. How do you feel about your dead name? I hate it. Um, I just, it's not me. It's not who I am or who I identify as. It's a very feminine, and I just, like, there's no neutral in it whatsoever. If it was neutral, I would have kept it, but there is no neutral in it whatsoever, and, I very much dislike it. Question number 6, do you care if people ask you what your dead name is? Yes. I very much do care, and I hate when people ask me that, but, I'm not rude about it. Like, I've had several people be like, so, what's your real name? I'm like, Micah is my real name. What do you mean? No, like, what did you go by before? And I was like, I'll be like, we're not even gonna go there. Like, I'm sorry, and, like, you're awesome and everything, but I'm not comfortable sharing that information, and I hope that you're okay with that. 9 times out of 10, the conversation goes pretty well. But I don't think I've hardly ever had anybody who is like, well, that's dumb that you won't tell me, you know. Okay, question number 7. Have you had or do you plan to get any surgeries and why? I have not had any surgeries, but I definitely do plan on them. Obviously, the why is, you know, self-answered. I mean, I am transgender. I definitely do plan on transitioning the whole 10 yards, you know? I mean, whatever I gotta do to make myself feel better about myself. I mean, it's just how I feel about it, you know? Alright, question number 8. I like this question, so. Do you believe you have to have surgeries or be on hormones to identify as trans? In my honest to God opinion, no. You don't have to be on any type of anything to identify as the person that you are. You just have to be yourself. And that's what matters. Even if you refuse to take hormones, even if you refuse to get surgeries, it's not about the hormones or the surgeries. It's about how you feel about yourself, and that's what matters. You know, as long as you're happy with who you are, more power to you. You know, that's what life is about. It's about you being happy with yourself. And if you can't be happy with yourself, then I don't know what to tell you, but you gotta figure it out, bro. Like, you gotta just find your way. And that's just how I feel about it. Okay, question number 9. What's the greatest hurdle you've had to overcome with transitioning? I'd say the whole getting my mom to support me and finally be comfortable with who I am. It took a very, very, very long time. And I struggled really hard with it. My mom's my best friend. You know, I tell her everything. She tells me everything. And the fact that she had a hard time with it made me feel like I was going to have a very hard time transitioning at all because she just wasn't okay with it. But we finally got to that point where, you know, she was starting to get comfortable, and I was like, alright, cool, now I can continue. And at the point where she first started getting comfortable, I was like, okay, now I'm going to start hormones. And that's just how all that went down. Okay. And here's the last question of the night. This question is, this video is really, really shorter than the other one, so thank God for that. Question number 10. Have you ever been discriminated against because of how you identify? In my last video, I talked about using the restroom at a certain company that I was working at, and I feel like that's one of the times that I've been discriminated against because of the way that I identify, and it just did not make me feel good about myself, you guys. Like, it just really hurt my feelings. I don't know. But, like, aside from that, like, small little shit, like, I used to go in chat rooms a lot and just try to make friends and talk to people and stuff. And I've had people call me the worst names in the book. I've had people call me hermaphrodite, tranny, fucking a dyke. I've had people tell me to go die, go kill myself. I've heard it all. But the positive part is that I've never let it get to me. And I just feel like, Jesus, this person's flying down the freaking road. But anyway, I feel like if you are comfortable with who you are and how you identify, then you should hold yourself high. Hold yourself high to your own standard. Don't let people knock you down just because they have a certain opinion about it or they have mean things to say. I mean, it's like I've said before in previous videos. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but words should never hurt you. And I know the saying is that words can never hurt you, but they do, and they shouldn't. They should never hurt you. And that's just one thing that I take to heart. Like, when someone has something mean to say to me, I just kind of brush it off my shoulder, and I'm like, you've really got problems in your life. Like, you've really got some issues in your life to be knocking somebody else down because of the way that they are. Like, I understand that you're just projecting your own issues on me, and that's cool. Like, just, it's not something that I have to take to heart or anything that I have to take personally or anything like that. Like, I feel like, people are always going to say mean things. They're always going to say mean things. They're always going to judge you. They're always going to, talk behind your back or whatever. And, nothing you can do about it, so why stress about it? Why be upset about it? Why be mad about it? Why even have a reaction to it, I just feel like, just because I'm being discriminated or whatever for who I am, doesn't mean that I should have to have a reaction towards it. I just have to keep on being happy about myself, and I feel like everybody should be that way. Everybody should just ignore all the negative shit and just be happy about yourself. Be happy with your life. Be happy for who you are and what you stand for, because that's the thing in life that's going to get you places, Like, you just got to keep being the great person that you are. That's how I feel about it. Alright, guys, that's the end of the video. Feel free to leave your comments, your questions. Feel free to like my videos or subscribe to my page or my channel or whatever. Feel free to share the videos. Feel free to send me a message or whatever you want to do. I'm always here for people if they need me. I pretty much have never shot down a person coming to me for like advice or whatever. So if that's what you guys need, I'm totally there too. So yeah, bye guys.